Hi guys, so I'm going to read Fantastic Four number 28. So this is a crossover with the X-Men. So guest stars galore as the Fantastic Four tangles with the X-Men. And that's not all, you'll also see the Mad Thinker, the Puppet Master, the Awesome Android. The fabulous Fantastic Four are shocked to learn we have to fight the X-Men. I hope my I'll say this first. So, it's a typical afternoon in the skyscraper headquarters of America's greatest fighting team, which means that the only thing we can expect to happen is the unexpected. I hope you think my statue does you justice, Ben. You know I have to work by touch alone. It ain't bad, Alicia, baby, considering that no statue could be as lovable as I really am in living color. Hi, sis, what are you looking at? The funnies are in the other section. We're reading about the X-Men, Johnny. It's amazing how famous they've become in such a short time. So, X-Men and New Exploit. Mysterious X-Men. First exclusive photos. So, co-starring the sinister Puppet Master, the Mad Thinker, and his awesome android. Written by Stan Lee, the leader, drawn by Jack Kirby, the King, inked by Chick Stone, the Master, lettered by Art Simic, the letterer. X-Men, big deal. They're just a bunch of cornballs, if you ask me. Who'd they ever lick? Magneto, the Space Phantom, the Blob, Quicksilver, the Scarlet Witch. Okay, I get the idea. Also the Toad, Mastermind. You left one out, little friends. Iceman and I defeated the Barracuda a few months ago, too. Oh, that's right, Johnny. You've met one of the X-Men. So that's in Strange Tales number 120, editor. An amazing photographer, or amateur photographer, snaps mystery heroes in Big City Chase. Phooey. They sound like a bunch of hero worshippers. You know, Alicia, baby, if you ask me, you're a better sculptor than the Puppet Master. Or maybe it's just that you had such a great model. The Puppet Master. I hoped I never had to hear that name again. Nuts. I'm sorry, Dollface. I forgot he was your stepfather. I didn't mean to upset you by mentioning him. I guess got a big mouth. Don't reproach yourself, Ben, dear. It's not your fault. Poor Alicia. What a crummy trick fate played on her. Imagine a sweet kid like that having a creep like him for a stepfather. Well, he better not try to come into her life again. Not while I'm around. But little does the brooding thing suspect that the one he is thinking about is, at that very moment, about to pose one of the greatest threats of all to the Fantastic Four. It is exactly 12 seconds to 4. According to my calculations, the Puppet Master should enter the doorway at this precise instant. Ah, there he is. I received your message, Thinker, but you contacted the wrong man. I won't help you. What is that? Where did it come from? Is it alive? That happens to be my android, an all-powerful artificial creature created by Mr. Fantastic, but now obedient only to me, just as you shall be after I've explained my plan. By means of my oversized brain and my complex computer machines, I can learn anything, predict anything, accomplish everything. Even though you have been hiding for months, I found you easily by deducing exactly where you would be. Fantastic Four number 15, editor. You were able to steal that mighty android from Mr. Fantastic? Then you must be even more brilliant than I heard you were. Of course. That is why my plan to conquer the Fantastic Four cannot fail, and that is why you will help me. I battled them many times in the past, but they've always defeated me. I finally gave up, went into hiding, but now perhaps... Exactly. With your strange power in my brain, I promise that you shall succeed this time. Here's a lead-lined protective suit to shield you from radioactive poisoning. Put it on, for you are about to make the greatest puppet. You're about to win your greatest victory. You sound so confident. I can't help but believe you. For weeks I have examined every fact I could learn about the X-Men, trying to deduce what their leader looks like. On that table in front of you is a rough mold of a head which I believe must resemble the mysterious Professor X. I think I begin to understand. Use that head as a model. I will now describe what I believe his body looks like. I want you to fashion a puppet of Professor X, using your magical radioactive clay. A puppet that must obey your will. Good, don't stop. You are truly a master sculptor. When you have finished, Professor X will be in our power, and that means his X-Men will be ours to command. It is done. Now concentrate. Concentrate as you never before. You must put him under your control. You must. I will. I've never failed yet. Just keep quiet. Let me keep looking at my puppet. Let me keep projecting my commands to it. And at that moment, in a quiet, isolated private school in the heart of Westchester County, one of the world's most famous mutants recoils in shock as a stranger's thought touches his brilliant brain. Someone is trying to exercise mental control over me. I can feel it. But though his body is confined to a wheelchair, his mind is the most powerful on Earth. With every ounce of mental strength he can muster, he fights back. No! I'm not getting the desired result. Can my puppet be at fault? No, I expected this to happen. Use more radioactive clay. Increase your power. Hurry. I have it all figured out to the last centimeter. Use another 4 1/3 grams of radioactive clay. Hurry! Enough! If you change the ratio by 1,000th of a degree, you'll upset all my prearranged calculations. I'm doing my best, but the subject is still resisting. What manner of man is he? What manner of man, indeed. Professor X is far more than just a man, for he is a true mutant, one of the hidden race of Homo Superior, the men with an extra power of the X-Men. I must fight the pressure in my brain. But even an X-Men is not infallible. The Mad Thinker has estimated the amount of radioactive clay needed to affect Professor X correctly, to the last centimeter. And so, if an evil power gains control of me, what will happen to my X-Men? For their sake I must fight, must resist. But I can't. Pressure is too great. I must obey. And so finally the magnificent brain of Professor X is put under the diabolical control of the Puppet Master and the Thinker. Professor X, this is your master speaking. You must do as I command. These are your orders. Seconds later, the hapless professor mentally summons his loyal students. I have new orders for you. You must obey without question. Of course, sir. What are your orders? You are to find the Fantastic Four, trap them, and then destroy them. You can't be serious. It's some sort of subtle joke. No, Hank. Look in his face, his eyes. He's not joking. He mean... Actually, I'm gonna give Angel a British accent, because I think... No, Hank, look at his face, his eyes. He's not joking. He means it. But why, Professor? There seems to be no logic behind it. I'll decide that. Remember, the power of my mutant brain enables me to listen in on other people's thoughts. Thus have I learned that the Fantastic Four plan world domination. They must be stopped, and only we can do it. Now go. Minutes later, a late-model jetcopter noiselessly approaches the skyscraper heliport atop the roof of the famous Baxter Building. Here we are. Remember the professor's orders. Get the FF off guard. Make them think this is a peaceful visit. While inside the building, hearing his electronic alarm signal, Mr. Fantastic does some observing as only he can. A jetcopter landed on the roof, and it's getting out of it. It's the X-Men. Having no reason to suspect that the visit is not a friendly one, the FF removes the electronic barriers which guard their 5 tower floors, and they seem to be completely unsuspecting, Cyclops. You're even lovelier than the pictures I've seen of you, Miss Storm. Coming from you, dear, that's a real compliment. And please call me Sue. This is a pleasant surprise, Cyclops. We were just talking about the X-Men. Mighty sharp wings you got there, Sonny. What do they feed you, bird food? Benjamin J. Grimm, mind your manners. The X-Men are your guests. Much as I hate to do it, I got to bait the trap now, as the professor ordered. We learned of an alien spaceship sighted on a remote mesa west of here. We thought you might join us in investigating it. I'd like to, Cyclops, but I'm afraid we're all too busy right now. The Torch and I are putting the finishing touches on a nose cone I developed for the Air Force. We can't leave now, I'm sorry. Good, his answer is just what the Thinker predicted it would be. Now for the next phase of our plan. I'll need my power beam. So I guess Puppet Master is controlling Cyclops. I don't know, Cyclops wouldn't know who the Thinker is, so I guess Puppet Master is controlling him too. But moving with startled speed, Cyclops blasts the nose cone off its rack end. Cyclops! Have you gone mad? Hey, what gives? Look out, Reed. He's aiming his power beam at you. Don't worry, Torch. I can dodge it. Sure, but how long? I'll put my kibosh on him. My way. It won't work, Torch. My wide-screen force beam can hold back your flame as well as any other weapon used against me. Maybe so, but you can't keep it up forever. And if my flame outlasts your power beam, you better start heading for the hills, chum. Meanwhile, in an adjacent room, we'd like you to come with us, Thing. We got a helicopter outside. Sorry, chick. I'm too busy admiring my favorite order, namely big-hearted Benjamin J. Grimm. But it's vitally important. You must come with us. We have our orders. Oh, you have you? Well, mercy me. Ain't that a heart-rending state of affairs? Very well. If you want it to be difficult, I'll make you accompany us. Like this. Hey, what you doing to my pride and joy? Oh, the statue is too heavy for me to suspend by my telekinetic power. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drop it. I can't look. It's like watching big, beautiful me being clobbered. Wham. If you weren't a female, I'd demolish you. But the only thing I can do to a nut like you is give you the spanking of your life. Stay away from me. It was an accident. Keep back. I'll keep him off balance, telekinetically, for as long as I can. Hey, stop. Come on, cut it out, will you? This is embarrassing. Whoa. Ben, what's happening? Why, is she using her mental power on you? Stop it, Marvel Girl. Uh-oh. Looks like the time for subterfuge is over. It's out in the open now. We'll have to use force. Don't struggle, Miss Storm, and you won't be hurt. I'm sorry to do this, but we have our instructions. Put me down. If the others see you, they'll clip your wings for good. Careful, Angel. Don't drop her. Okay, you can put her down now. My frozen lasso will keep her from running away. I warn you, boys. The Fantastic Four won't think this is the least bit funny. We're not trying to be funny, Miss Storm. Meanwhile, just on the other side of the wall, you gentlemen are causing all of us a great deal of unnecessary discomfiture. It behooves me to show you the error of your ways. Here comes the beast, Johnny. You handle Cyclops, I'll tackle him. I'm warning you, Torch. Stay back. Don't force me to give you a full-intensity power beam. First of all, I'll roll the beast out of the way, and then race back to help Johnny. But Mr. Fantastic's foe is well named, for he possesses the agility of a jungle animal, and I appreciate the ride, my fantastic friend, but surely this isn't the time or place for a balancing act. He's too nimble. Can't get him off balance. I'll try something else. With the speed of thought, Reed unfolds his pliable body, hurling his articulate adversary off balance. Now that was a rash, impetuous thing to do. But moving with cat-like grace, the beast recovers faster than Mr. Fantastic. And then, your flexible frame can be as much as a handicap as an asset, especially with a dexterous chap like me can bend you into the proverbial pretzel shape. Sorry, son, you're so in love with the sound of your own voice that you can forget that others, can be dexterous too, like this. I stand corrected, sir. But as John Paul Jones so sternly said, I have not yet begun to fight. Tisk, your evasive action is merely prolonging the inevitable outcome. If only I could learn their motive. Why are they fighting us? At that second, the momentum of his charge hurls the fast-moving beast smack dab into the thing, who Marvel Girl has been holding at bay via her telekinetic power. Thank goodness it's you, beast. I couldn't hold him off much longer. It's purely accidental, I assure you. Fighting the thing isn't exactly my biggest ambition in life. I'll get to you in a minute, loudmouth. First, I want to keep this little tigress from getting away. Beast, do something! He's caught me! He'll do something, all right. He'll go to sleepy by after I connect with... Hey, where is he? I've got to stay out of range of that pile driver arm of his. There's Iceman. Quick, my Sub-Zero friend. Toss a frigid frost bomb at the thing. You took the words right out of my mouth, beastie. Glug. Before the super powerful thing can bring his muscles into play, his teenage foe engulfs him in blocks of quick freezing hard rock ice. Hope that'll hold him long enough for us to finish our mission here. By now, the epic battle is raging all over the FF's headquarters. Cyclops! Don't train your power beam on those experimental ray machines. You're playing with disaster. I'll take that chance. It's the only way to force you to surrender. Let me have him, Reed. I'll launch a fireball that even his power beam won't be able to handle. No, Johnny. I've made my decision. We've got to learn their motive for this attack. We'll pretend to surrender, then see what their plan is. Trust me, son. You win, Cyclops. Put a stop to this fight and we'll accompany you as you asked. A wise decision. First, I'll assemble everyone in this room, beginning with the Thing. At that moment, the enraged human powerhouse smashes his frozen head covering and... Okay, Iceman, it's clobbering time. Ben, hold it. This is Reed. The fight's over. You can't do this to me. I was robbed. I know how you feel, old friend, but there's more than meets the eye. Now shut this off our ray machines. The next move is up to the X-Men. I better lay a haymaker on someone pretty soon. I don't want to grow up frustrated. I still don't get it. Why would they want to battle us? Let's proceed with all deliberate speed, Cyclops. The FF may not remain submissive and docile much longer. Sorry, Miss Storm. We'll have to take you as a hostage to make sure your three partners follow us as they promised. You'll have enough air in the steel locker and it will prevent you from trying any of your invisibility tricks on us. I'm giving Angel a British accent because he's like from a rich family, his name's Warren Worthington III. So I don't know. I think it'll be like if giving Professor X and I wouldn't give Professor X and Magneto the same voice because they have very similar voices. I can't unless I had another person doing it for me. So that's why I didn't give Professor X the British accent. But okay, Angel, get the jetcopter down from the roof and let's get going. I read you loud and clear, partner. Seconds later. Don't worry, Miss Storm. I'll be as gentle with you as possible. We regret the necessity for such extreme measures. As soon as we're all aboard, head for Destination A, and be sure that FF are able to follow us. From what I know about that quick toxic quartet, they could follow us shattering into a pitch-black cavern. And the words are hardly out of the beast's mouth when... They're running off with Sue! Gangway! No need to tear this place apart, Ben. Everything is under control. We're going after them. I don't get it, Reed. Aren't you worried about Sue? Of course, Johnny. But I'm sure she's not in danger. This whole thing is nuts, if you ask me. Look, there they go. They want us to follow them. And that's what we'll do. We've got to see it through now. Oh, Ben. Someone placed me up there on the ledge. I heard everything that happened. But I don't understand. That proves my theory. The X-Men mean no actual harm. They've even put Alicia out of harm's way, where she'd be safe. Well, if that's how they act when they're being peaceful, I hate to see 'em when they're looking for trouble. You just stay here, honey face, where you'll be okay. I'll be back as soon as we knock some sense into those crazy little mixed-up kids. Be careful, my darling. Let's go, partner. Johnny has the pogo plane warmed up and ready to take off. Minutes later. That's it. Set the radar computer to the vibration frequency of the jetcopter engine. Phooey. I like the good old days when they say they went that way. Wait, does it mean that way or wait? Anyway. You know something, Reed? If you and that beast character ever got into a real conversation, nobody could understand you except Noah Webster, and even he wouldn't be sure. Cool it, pal. We've got to study these gauges. You don't fool us, Ben. You hold a college degree or two yourself. Don't broadcast it, String Bean. I want the admiring world to think I'm a self-made genius. Hold it. Knock off the chatter. The jet copter is slowing for a landing. Maybe they had engine trouble, Reed. They could have wanted to land on that lonely plateau. It's strictly Nowheresville. We'll soon find out, Johnny. We're following them down. Meanwhile, on the barren ridge below, they're coming. What do we do now? I don't know. Professor X's orders were to land here. And wait. You mean you fought with the Fantastic Four? Took me prisoner? Came to this desolate place? And don't know why? The one we take orders from knows what he's doing, Miss Storm. Our job is merely to obey him. Suddenly, a sharp commanding thought reaches all the assembled X-Men. Well done, my X-Men. Now when the Fantastic Four leave their aircraft, you are to battle them again, and completely subdue them. That is all. But why, sir? Why are we doing this? It doesn't make any sense. It's no use. He's broken thought communication. Then no sooner do Reed, Johnny, and Ben leave their pogo plane when... Reed, they're attacking us again! What's the word, boss man? Defend yourself, Johnny. You too, Ben. But try not to hurt anyone if possible. You heard the man, Cyclops. Now don't spoil everything by saying ouch. It isn't I who might hurt thing. Not so long as I have my power beam trained at you and operating at full strength. That blamed thing is like trying to push over a mountain. But I'll get past it. I got muscles I ain't even used yet. His strength is unbelievable. He's actually forcing his way through my high-intensity power beam. But suddenly the ground opens beneath Ben's feet and... What's going on here? Had an open manhole. Get down below! This plateau is being booby-trapped. Is it the work of the Professor X? Ben! Hang on, old friend, I'm coming! I've got to get Richards before he can rescue the thing. Before the fast-flying angel can reach Mr. Fantastic, another booby trap is sprung. A revolving reel device. It's caught me. It's spinning me around. Reed is trapped, but I can't go to his aid, and I dare not release Marvel Girl from my invisible force field. Something is holding me, something unseen. I can't escape it telekinetically. No, I've got to release her. I gotta help the man I love. Oh, there goes the torch. If only I'd wait a second longer. I'm free! Whoever booby-trapped this plateau is prepared for everything. There goes some sort of missiles heading for the Human Torch and Sue Storm. Sue, look out, sis! Too late, Johnny. Can't dodge in time. The missiles opened into some sort of asbestos-covered straitjackets. This whole plateau is one gigantic trap for the Fantastic Four. But the X-Men have always fought for the law, for justice. The same as we. Why are they doing this? Why? And as the X-Men ask themselves the same question, a large section of Earth suddenly lifts aside, revealing, Listen, the sound of huge gears grinding. I told you my plan would succeed without mishap. The thinker never makes a mistake. I wouldn't have believed it, but everything has happened exactly as you predicted it would. Now all that remains is the mopping up. Turn, X-Men, and face those whom you will now serve. The Puppet Master and the Mad Thinker. I read about them. They were each defeated by the Fantastic Four many months ago. But this time it is we who have won, using you as bait. So that's the answer. We should have guessed. And you'll continue to obey us, so long as I have your leader in my power. I know that your leader controls you by mental telepathy. So long as I control him, you are my slaves. Now I'll order him to make you all unconscious. And many miles to the east, using the power of your mutant brain, make your X-Men lose consciousness. I command you. I feel you trying to resist me, but it's useless, for I control the magic clay which molded your figure. You must obey me. You must obey. You must obey. You must obey. Then slowly, limply, the startled X-Men sink to the ground as the mental pressure exerted by the most powerful brain in the world, forces them into unconsciousness. You must sleep, my X-Men. Sleep, sleep. But great as the brain power of Professor X may be, when spread over 5 subjects at once it is diffused, thinned out to the point where another strong brain might resist it, a brain such as the Beast's. Must disregard the Professor's command. The Puppet Master is controlling him. Must fight back. Fight back. Catching this diabolical duo by surprise, with his sudden attack, the Beast manages to knock the fatal object from the Puppet Master's hand. Once I wrest that puppet from you, the tide will be turned, in our favor. Stop him, you fools! No, don't destroy it! It was my greatest handiwork! Don't let me be defeated again! I can't bear it, no! Meantime, 100 feet below the surface, anyone who thinks this cozy little gopher hole can stop the thing has rocks in his head. All I gotta do is make myself some steps by punching holes in the wall, like this. And now someone's gonna pay for making my skin a delicate little knuckles, the way I did. But first I better see what this is. Holy Hannah! Look who's all tied up in knots. What happened, Stretch? Some Boy Scout use you for rope practice? Benjamin, your subtle wit is wasted on me right now. Our first job is to help the X-Men. Help them? I thought we were fighting them. Tear these coverings off, Sue, and the torch, Ben. I'll explain as we go. Skip the explanations, pal. Just tell me who to clobber this time. Thanks, partner. Now watch my smoke. I feel like a guy who arrived in the middle of a murder movie. I can't tell the good guys from the baddies without a program. Neither could I, Ben, for a while. Ben. But it's all clear now. Dangerously clear. Look at that. Reed, it's your android. The one you created months ago, which the Mad Thinker stole. And there's the Puppet Master. It's like old home week for villains. The Thinker and the Puppet Master gained control over the X-Men. They made them fight us, but their control is gone now, so they're using the android as a last resort. Fools! My awesome android is subject to my every mental command. He can defeat an army. You haven't a chance. Careful, Iceman. The android can take on the characteristics of whoever attacks him. See, he's giving himself your icy powers. A fine time to tell me. Boy, I ought to get a medal as the chump of the year. I warned the Iceman, but the android attacks me. He covered me with a casing of ice. Are you alright, Johnny? Anything hurt, boy? Only my pride, boss man. Only my pride. That android is almost unbeatable, but perhaps I can topple him with my telekinetic power. Oh, he's so heavy. It's so hard. Can't apply any more pressure. My head's spinning, oh. Good girl, Jean. You take it easy now. I'll finish the job with my power beam. Be careful, all of you. The android is indestructible. No amount of power will stop him. But perhaps I can contain him with my invisible force field until we think of something. It's no use. He's too strong. He broke free. Stand back, little lady. At last I find myself a target big enough to pulverize. So, you're too strong to be stopped, huh? Them's fighting words to battle in Benjamin Grimm. Ben, it won't work. Get away from him. Don't you remember? He can make himself a copy of you. A bigger, stronger copy. Well, that I'd like to see. Yo! Me and my fat mouth! Meanwhile, back at the headquarters, the gifted leader of the X-Men finds himself released from the Puppet Master's spell since the thing smashed the irresistible puppet. It's over. My brain is my own again. My thoughts are governed by me once more. Whoever is responsible for what has happened will find that there is no place on earth my thoughts cannot reach. No place on earth where he can hide from my vengeance. And then the mighty mutant brain of Professor X reaches out, grasping the entire situation in a fleeting instant. Only one thing will stop that inhuman menace. A precise pressure on the exact control center of its artificial body. And then one of the most remarkable mental feats of all time is performed by the leader of the X-Men. From a point many miles away, he applies mental pressure at a certain section of the android's artificial nervous system, and then, I don't know my own strength. I belted him a couple minutes ago, and he's caving in now? Jean, it's over. The android's been stopped. We won. It's incredible. It's as though he's been beaten by an invisible command, by a thought which struck from out of nowhere. But how is that possible? If you ask me, Reed's been reading too many fairy tales. What happened to the Thinker and the Puppet Master? Or what happened to the Thinker and the Puppet Master? The last I saw, the beast chased them into that tunnel they came out of. Well, what are you waiting for, oh little chum? Hold it, Angel. I'm getting a thought from Professor X. He says we should wait up here. We're too late to follow. While in the tunnel below, the beast has gone too far in his pursuit to turn back. I hope I can crash through that sliding wall panel before they lose me. But a half a ton of solid steel partition is too much for the teenage X-Man, and the Mad Thinker and the Puppet Master reach a previously prepared position. What is this place? You never told me about it. I always have an alternate plan, in case I should miscalculate. This is our means of escape. Everything was perfect, until you allowed that accursed puppet to be smashed. It was the one eventuality I did not foresee. We were so close to victory. So close. Look, they had an escape plane hidden in this concealed cave. Bah, we have only lost one battle. I never make the same mistake twice. Next time my plan will be flawless. I dislike being the bearer of bad news, but I must ruefully admit that my quarry eluded me. We know, Beast. We saw them take off. They won't escape. We'll find them sooner or later. I don't know. I'll keep the British accent for Angel. Mr. Fantastic, we hope that you will accept our sincere apologies for what has happened. We were merely following orders. We didn't dream the evil Puppet Master was behind those orders. No apology needed, son. You were valiant foes, and equally valiant allies. We were proud to have met you. Knock it off, Reed, before I start bawling. Your ordeal is ended, my X-Men. Return to me now. That's the Prof. Let's go, guys. They're a wonderful group. Makes you proud of the youngsters today. I wonder who they really are. Refugees from a freak show, if you ask me. If the android was beaten, the way I suspect he was, the leader of the X-Men is far wiser than anyone dreams. It's strange, Reed. You originally made the android to help mankind, but the Mad Thinker turned it into a menace. That's the irony of science, Johnny. No invention is good or bad of itself. It's only the use to which mankind puts it that really matters. I wonder if we'll ever meet the X-Men again. One thing's certain, you sure couldn't miss them in a crowd. They weren't too bad for amateurs, except for Beast. He's too ugly. The end. Naturally, if you want to see more of the X-Men, we won't object. They're on sale now. As for the top-ranking FF, issue number 29 may well go down in history as well. Oops, we're out of room. Buy it and see it for yourself. So, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.